Hey girlies, it's Rachel from Heal That Homegirl, and I'm here with all the tea on healing you all. So today I want to talk about 4 reasons why we definitely need to abstain from sex during your healing journey, and I'm gonna get right into it, you all. Number 1, well, first off, do we have our water? Because you know over here, Heal That Homegirl, honey, we are drinking our water, releasing what does not serve us, and we are healing, right? So let me get straight into it. Number 1, this is the thing, ladies. I'm a woman, so I know how it goes, right? For my girlies that want to settle down, for my girlies that want to be in a relationship with a mature masculine man, right? When you're having sex with other men and that's not really what you want to do, every time you lay down, you're taking yourself lower, right? So you get up feeling worse than you did when you lay down because you really want love. You really want a man to come in. You really want to be loved by a man. You want that man that you can lay with every night and wake up every morning. You want that safe space, right? That man that you can tell all your fears to, all your dreams to, all your worries to, all of that, right? That man who you feel like he's protected, he's your provider, right? He holds you, he cradles you, like that's your man, girl. That's what you really want. But when you lay down with these men that are not your man, you start to feel like you're lacking because I already don't have the man that I want, right? I already don't have that relationship that I want, and I already don't have myself, which means I am totally lacking when I don't have myself, right? I don't feel whole on my own. I want a man because I really want to run away from going to doing the work on me so I can go and run to a man, right? But instead, I keep running and laying down with men. And then when I get up, I feel even worse than I did before I laid down. So stop having sex with men, right? Stop having sex with men because you want to settle down with a man, but you're settling to have sex with a man. What you really want is that relationship. So we're going to get to the relationship, right? Because we're going to heal, we're going to do the work, we're going to get to that relationship. That will be a byproduct of your healing, right? So we're going to get there as long as we get to a healthy place where we're making healthy decisions. But until then, stop settling for sex with men and go for the goal. Go for the goal. You're going to have to play the long game with this one, honey, okay? Settling to having sex with men, that's shortcuts, and you're cutting yourself short. You're going to have to play the long game with this one. So you're going to have to really do the work so that you get into a healthy place, a healthy mindset, so you can settle down with a healthy, mature, masculine man. Then you won't feel like I'm laying down and I'm not really getting what I want. And if I could be honest, half the time when you're laying down, you're really not being sexually pleased anyway. And you don't feel comfortable speaking up. And you don't feel comfortable with him not catching the attitude or the fact that he actually will be able to meet your needs. So you are literally cheating yourself all around. And that is where you feel like you're lacking even more. So number 1, stop settling for sex with men. We have to abstain during our healing journey. And when I say abstain from sex, ladies, I'm actually talking about abstaining from oral sex, anal sex, all sexual intercourse, right? I really even believe that you need to stay away from kissing anything with a man unless you are married, right? Or for my girlies that may be, in a serious relationship that's going towards marriage, if that's what you want, that's different. I would still have a conversation with my man because there are going to be times when you're just going to need to just be by yourself so you can get to know you, learn you, and you don't need to keep being distracted by sex. But outside of that, I would really say abstain from all of it. Pornography, you know why? Because that breeds lust. If I kiss somebody, I'm going to want to go to the next level, right? Maybe, right? If I watch porn, I'm probably going to want to go to the next level. If I indulge in oral sex, I'm more than likely going to want to go to the next level. So if I just stay away from all of that, right, then I won't be triggered into wanting to settle for sex with a man. The same way if I'm trying to eat right, don't have no chicken box all in my face trying to tempt me when I'm trying to eat right. Don't do that, right? So I don't want to be around no chicken boxes, right? I don't want to be around the 4 wings and fries. Because what's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to get it off my mind. I'm probably going to dream about it. The next day I will be fighting the urge to not go and get one. And why would I put myself in such a compromising situation when it really could just be out of my way, out of sight, out of mind? Because during your healing journey, your main focus is you. Okay? So number 2, ladies. sex is a distraction a lot of times. So a lot of us, we use sex as a distraction. We use it as a way to get away from ourselves. We use it as a way to get away from our problems. We use it as a way to deal with our problems, right? We use it as a way to get away from people that, we want to do the little sneaky link thing. I'm not going to deal with my problems with my man. I'm just going to go ahead and be a sneaky link. Like, we use sex as a distraction. And during your healing journey, you don't want to be in your distractions. You want to learn your distractions, right? Because you're going to have some distractions that you're going to learn and that you're going to need to work on so that you're no longer using them as distractions to distract away from what it is that you need to be going towards, feeling out, dealing with, talking about, and healing from, right? So I don't want to use sex as a distraction. And then I definitely don't want to take on anybody else to use sex as a distraction, because then I got to work on breaking this off with this person. So sex is a lot of times it's used as a distraction when we are in an unhealthy place. My money ain't right? I just need somebody to lay with, when what it really is that I just don't want to be alone. So let me distract myself from being alone by going to go and lay with a man and having sex. And then I'm using it as a distraction, and that becomes another distraction or another way to distract myself. So now while I'm in this healing journey, I got all these other distractions, right? I might eat, I might drink, I might smoke weed, I might shop, I might gossip, right? I may over clean the house. I may work all the time as a distraction, and now I'm adding sex as well. And in my experience, it has been a lot easier to rid myself of the distractions that just took place with only me than it was when it came to sex. Because with sex, you got those soul ties, and it's just a lot. It just gets messy, and it's just a lot. So if you're in a place where you are not having sex with anybody and you really want to go on your healing journey, I would advise you to not even take on any new sexual partners. And if you have sexual partners, like we talked about number one, where you know that you're just settling for sex, I don't care how good you say it is and all that. We are not looking for lust-filled desires right now. That's not what we're looking for. We're going for wholeness, right? And I don't need good feeling sex when I'm trying to heal, because as soon as I get me, I'm trying to tell you, when you get you, right, when you realize that you've always been whole, so when you come into that fullness and you start to find yourself, you're not going to worry about just laying down and having sex that feels good. Girl, you're going to value yourself all the way up here. You're not even going to want to have sex, right? He's really going to have to be hopping fences, like really tall fences, the ones with the electrical wire, in order to get to you, because that's where you're going to see yourself, because that's really where you are, right? But you just have been through so much, you holding on to so much, you look at yourself through filtered lenses with everybody's negative opinion and society's beauty standards and everything else, and everything you went through and all your negative self-talk and everything that people have said about you and your family when you was growing up, and the way you compare yourself to other people, so that you really don't even see yourself as high value. I'm talking about from your spirit. I'm talking about within. I'm talking about your character. I'm not talking about your money. I'm not even talking about your looks, because all those things can go. I'm talking about your stuff from within. You don't even realize that stuff is of value, and that's real value right there. That's real value. That's not the worldly value that they tell us about. That's the real value. So you don't see that. Once you come into your healing, you start to heal, you start to feel yourself out and start to feel how whole you really are. You're not going to be worrying about, I just want to have some good feeling sex. Because if you really want a man and you really want a healthy, mature, divine, masculine man, you're going to be focused on that. That's what I want. I don't want to lay down again, because every time I get up, I just don't feel right. Like, I feel like I settled. So you want to not do it because you don't want to use it as a distraction. Okay, ladies, number 3. Number 3 is, you don't want to do it because until you get to the place, like I said, where you see yourself in your fullness and you see yourself as whole, then you won't be settling. So what you're doing right now, ladies, is when we don't really value ourselves, we settle for okay sex, right? We settle for an okay partner. Deeply, that is not what we really want, right? Because we're trying to change them most of the time. We are changing ourselves. We're compromising ourselves. We're settling. We're suppressing parts of ourselves because we feel like we can't be all that we are with this man because of maybe his insecurities or his setbacks. his shortcomings, right? So if I really if I could just make him into the man that I want him to be, then I wouldn't feel like I was settling. So when you really don't value yourself, you're having like settlement sex, right? Like you're settling for this sex. And that is not good, but that is something that will come up during your healing journey, and it's something that you can work on. So I would say when you don't really value yourself good, it's just best that you don't have sex, because honestly, you're not even having like fulfilling sex. And like I said, ladies, fulfilling sex is not just about the physical feeling. What about your spirit? What about your emotions? What about your mind, right? What about those things? Because when we heal, you all, we evolve into our divine feminine. We evolve into our queen energy, our goddess energy. And just sex that feels good, that's just not enough. That is for the surface, right? That is for your lust. That is not for those deep, deep places that we need stimulated and we need fulfilled, right? And we need them to be pleased, right? So you're not really having fulfilling and satisfying sex. And you probably never have, right? If you really at a place that you don't value yourself. So I think that it's best that you just sit and you just don't have sex when you don't really value yourself, because you're not even having sex from a healthy place. You're having it from your lower self anyway. You're having it from your weakened, wounded self. You're not having it from that confident, that assured woman, that woman that knows what she wants, that woman that is mature, that woman that is not going to settle. This is not what I want. I will wait on what I want until he comes. I'm not selling over here, right? This is not enough. I'm not going to act like it is just to make anybody else feel comfortable. You're not in your queen energy, right? So it's best that you just abstain from sex. And like I said, any type of sexual anything that will trigger you to go towards it while you're on your healing journey, it'll just be one less thing that you have to worry about. Okay, so number 4, you all, and we touched on this a little bit, and that's soul ties. So you all, we know about soul ties, right? It's talk all over about them, and they are a hard thing to break. And a lot of times we make ourselves believe that we really love somebody, or it's meant for us to be together. I just can't be without this person. But your soul is literally entangled with theirs. And until you cut that cord, and until you break that off, and until you go cold without them, right? You really will not see that it's really a soul tie. That's what it is. It's not that this is your husband. It's not that you cannot live without him. It's not that he's the air that you breathe. It's not that Jesus Christ, like, I'm going to die if we're not together. It's really not that. It's just that your souls are entangled. And if you're having sex with more person and your soul's entangled with more than one person, and if you still are longing for another person and you feel like you just can't get over that person, but now you started having sex with another person, ladies, which is why I do not do that whole to get over one man, you get under another. That is dumb. That does not make sense. That does not make sense. That is not logical at all. That comes from a very irrational, emotional place, and absolutely not, right? Because then you just get yourself tied up with another man. So you have these soul ties, and now you're trying to work on building yourself up. You're trying to work on becoming whole, but you still got some other man's soul still wrapped up in you, and that's why you tossing and turning. You can't sleep at night, and that's why you feel like you're trying to get away, and it feels like a drug, like it's a high and a low, and I just keep coming back. So soul ties, you all, let's not create any new soul ties on our healing journey. Let's move on and work on healing. And if we have any that we need to break, the healing journey is a good time to break them, you all. I'll make a video on how I had to get rid of soul ties, you all, because it wasn't that it was meant for us to be together. It was just that our souls were tied. They were entangled, right? So you don't want to go ahead and create any new soul ties. You want to work on eradicating, honey, the ones that you already have there. Because when you come out of this healing journey, you are not going to be dragging anybody with you, because on your healing journey, you're going to be shown who's for you and who's not, right? And you're going to need to surrender to the path that is next. So the whole thing is, anybody that you're having sex with anyway, if they're not supposed to be going, they're not supposed to be going. You will not level up until you let go of everybody and everything that you need to let go of, right? So those are 4 reasons why you most definitely, I advise you to abstain from sex or any sexual pleasures, whatever, anything that may trigger you into thinking about sex, because ladies, your healing journey is about you. It's about time that we focus on ourselves and stop focusing on everybody else. going getting these short-term, low-level pleasures so we can create the life that we want from the abundance that we have within. So don't forget to go check out www.healthouthomegirl.net. I offer coaching services helping women to heal themselves, fall in love with yourselves, and that is how you refine and redefine the woman you are so you can create the life you want. I'll see you all in the next video.